Well, today is the second first alert weather day of the weekend. We're still continuing to monitor these strong winds that are pushing through at hurricane force speed, but the heaviest impact is going to be this heavy snowfall expected for tonight. So we already saw some of that strong snow pushing on through, but we're going to see the heaviest amount pushing in tonight. However, all across the state, we're still seeing these clear and cold conditions, more so for the interior and western Alaska. So something that I find pretty interesting is the wind direction into the Matanuska Valley is coming from the north. And I just wanted to show that with our jet stream forecast. You can see the jet stream carrying that wind as it collides with these two pressure systems. So as high pressure and low pressure merge, they begin to pressurize that air. And that's why the jet stream is carrying that wind. And you can even feel that direction coming to you if you are in Palmer and the Matanuska Valley. But we've been facing these strong winds all across South Central. But the second big impact, like I had mentioned, is that strong snow, that strong storm pushing into southeast. And that's that low pressure system. It's going to start to shift over southeast. And that's where we're really seeing most of these impacts coming into, as that jet stream carries in more of that snow and moisture into the central portion of the region. But for South Central, we're still under this high wind warning. Now, I wanted to point out some of these strongest wind gusts we've seen today, peaking at 82 miles per hour in Palmer, 53 miles per hour in Wasilla, and for Anchorage at J-Bear, we measured 73 miles per hour, but around 66 in areas like Merrillfield, and then in Valdez, we saw gusts up to 61 miles per hour. Now, of course, that wind chill, really another big impact that comes with these strong winds and these colder temperatures. So it feels a little bit more like 0 degrees on your skin in Anchorage. And of course, those other areas with much stronger wind speeds feels much colder, around -4 if you're in Palmer and other areas. But over in southeast, it feels very similar to what the actual temperature is, since those gusts are much less strong. Now, as we look ahead, this low pressure system still pushing into southeast, and that's going to bring more of that snowfall for tonight, where you can expect several inches to accumulate in areas like Juneau as well as Petersburg. Not much forecasted for Ketchikan. You may see some rain showers. However, the impact is not going to be as significant. Now, just looking at this snowfall estimate, 6 inches expected for tomorrow, but then even more is going to accumulate by Tuesday. So be ready for heavy amounts of snow to push in as that moisture and warmer temperatures begin to settle into some of these areas. But just looking at our winter storm warning, if you're in areas highlighted in pink, brace for that heavy snowfall, again between 8 to 18 inches forecasted. Gusts are likely up to 60 miles per hour. This is going to expire early tomorrow morning. But for that winter weather advisory in these areas highlighted in purple, that's where you can expect to see much less snow, between 2 to 4 inches in areas like Glacier Bay and Wrangell, but in areas like Sitka, about 6 to 12 inches are expected. Those gusts up to 35 and 40 miles per hour. Now, for southeast, the region in general, you're going to see snow is forecasted all across the way from Skagway all the way down into Petersburg, but rain for Ketchikan, where those temperatures are much warmer. Wind gusts are another big impact for the region, up to 60 miles per hour possible. But into the interior, still seeing these colder temperatures, really feeling it, but these mostly sunny skies are pushing in. Now for the North Slope, much cloudier conditions overhead as low pressure begins to shift its way into the region, with these temperatures still just slightly warmer than the interior. West, we're seeing mostly cloudy skies along the coastline, but then towards the more southwest regions, we're seeing completely clear skies as high pressure begins to push its way in. Now for the Aleutians, very similar story. That high pressure system is anchored right over the chain, and that's why we're seeing these clear conditions, as well as some of these much stronger wind gusts. Now for South Central, strong winds, again, the biggest impact that you can look forward to for your Monday. Brace for more of those strong winds, as gusts are likely up to 50 miles per hour into the Kenai Peninsula, but even stronger gusts likely in the Copper River Basin for Valdez more specifically, and again for areas like Palmer and Wasilla. That's where we're going to see even more of these strong wind gusts pushing on through. So brace for those winds. And for Anchorage, gusts up to 50 miles per hour, very likely and very possible. But these temperatures on their way down as we progress through this week. Still expect those windy conditions for tomorrow. And again, in Juneau, expect that heavy snowfall to push in tonight and even to carry on through for Monday and into Tuesday. Now for Fairbanks, again, colder temperatures, but completely dry conditions in the sky. Partly cloudy skies are ahead this week.